Welcome to my little victory garden, where I'm trying to grow food for my family of 5 in a small plot in North Texas. We've got a lot of planting to get done this weekend. So here we are, beautiful Saturday morning in the garden. I've done a few things since I checked in with you last, and I have a few plans for today. My tomatoes seem to be still doing well. I am still getting dog vomit fungus in the bed and still growing grass. I keep pulling it. Yeah, everything. I think I'm going to put some okra seeds in here today. I'm not going to be able to get all the okra I want planted because, well, there's still onions in the way. But these peppers that were just so stunted, I mean, you can't even see them over the mulch anymore. Those are going to come out. The ones that were done in those compost pots. You can see over here they're purple looking. But where is it? Where is it? Like I said, it's hard to see amongst the mulch. It should be right there. You see those purple leaves? Yeah. So I've got like 6 pepper plants I'm going to pull out and replace with other things. I've got some eggplants and bell pepper that I'll be putting in there. I've got some Tabasco, but I don't really think I want the Tabasco growing with all of these sweet peppers. The lettuce, of course, despite the fact that I'm harvesting anywhere from 1/2 pound to 1.5 pounds a day, is going strong. The onions and garlic are still looking good. Over here, my established Swiss chard is huge. I'm going to have to harvest that this weekend. I put in some seeds here for some red sorrel hibiscus. My artichoke is seeming to go along. I have some sort of fungal disease on my roses. It was turning all the leaves yellow and spotted. I sprayed it down. Once you see little kind of white specks, I sprayed it down last night with a mixture of baking soda and water. We're going to see if that actually works. This lavender I've given up on, but I'll show you a little bit later. I've got some replacements I picked up at H.E.B. My sage, of course, looks beautiful. These Swiss chard are starting to get established, as is my spicy oregano is happy. The parsley, I think only 1 of the 3 has survived. All of these were done in those compostable pots, so we will see what happens. I might have to reseed those. Same for the French lavender, or French thyme that I planted. But the French thyme I purchased in Louisiana is thriving. My rosemary is happy. I used to have a rosemary in the front yard. I actually had 6 of them. And we had that horrible freeze a few years back, and it just took everything out. It hung on for a few years, but not much. This is all where the grapes are going to go. Stark Brothers has given me yet another expected date, so it just keeps changing. Here is the potatoes. Here I'm going to start some corn, and then I'll just add more corn in as I harvest potatoes. I think I'm going to wait another couple of weeks to even start trying on the corn. My potatoes haven't even started flowering yet. Let's see. I put in yesterday my summer squash seeds. the, this is the crookneck yellow. That's the Black Beauty zucchini. And this is a white scallop. I'm only doing one of each because we have such a problem with pests. I don't think I could stay on top of more than one. I did get some traps to try for the cucumber beetles and the squash vine borer. You'll note I also have these stakes here for them to try to keep them up off the ground. That cucumber is doing really well. These I reseeded because, well, they're pretty much dead. The peas are starting to do. We've got the watermelon actually survived the little cold snap. I'm surprised. You see, we're starting to get some sugar snap peas in. I'll probably harvest that one today, and the others will come in later. I threw some radishes in here between the cantaloupe. I think these are actually the, yeah, Crenshaw melons. Of course, my roses. The pickle bush pretty much died. I'm going to put 2 more sets of seeds in those to see what happens. I've put some beans over here, and they are starting to sprout. I've got a wide variety, so it's like here on the end is kidney beans, and then pinto beans, and then what did we put here? Tricolored bush beans that I've gotten some free seeds of. A blue lake bean, and then I put some borage right there on the corner. And then I did it's a container bean, but I went ahead and put it in the ground as French biscotti, I don't know. And then I put some small red beans here. They're actually just from a bag of beans I picked up at Costco. Let's see. Back here, I had put in some sunflowers. You can see one sprouted. Actually, it looks like maybe a couple have. Have more grass to do. But I have some zinnias starting to sprout. My berries are all looking quite healthy. I've got 3 more blackberries coming in. I'm very excited about the starts of blooms on my blackberry. This was just planted last year. It doesn't look like it's putting on very many blooms right now, but the fact that I get anything is going to make me happy. And then, of course, it's bushing out beautifully with new growth for next year. This will be more blackberries. The elephant garlic needs to come up. I put in some polar bear zinnias here, and they have not sprouted. I wonder if maybe it's just not getting enough sun here. And then there is my other artichoke. And between these 2 artichokes is going to be grapes when they come in. So I went to H.E.B. yesterday after work, and I got these 2 English lavender and 1 spicy globe basil. I used to grow these all the time. And then these are the other seedlings that I have to kind of fill in space. So this is one of the eggplants, and this is the other that are going to go in the place of some of those peppers. This is one of the bell peppers. The white stuff on them is dipple dust. There was something, little tiny gray bugs on the peppers. They looked a lot like aphids. And so I wiped them all off, and I put a little dipple dust on it to see if that helps. This, I think, is one of my cucumbers, but I just can't remember which one because I took the label out. I tried pre-seeding cayenne. 1 of the 4 seeds started, and none of those free Cuban peppers have sprouted just yet. But yeah, I'm going to work on getting these things in the ground. And these are the Tabasco peppers. I've got 4 in total. I've got 2 over here. And this was supposed to be English lavender, but it's not. I think it's purslane. But I did seed it with lavender seeds. This is the lavender that I seeded, and that's going to go in the ground somewhere as well. This is my neighbor's irises. His grandmother planted them who knows how long ago. When I met her, she called them Mayflower irises. They're these tiny purple irises. They don't grow very tall, but they haven't bloomed in a couple of years because they're so densely packed. He agreed to let me thin them a little bit, or steal some. I'm going to take some to family in Louisiana, but most of these are going into my yard. So after getting distracted by committing some mild larceny in my neighbor's yard, decided I really need to get started on my projects. I started with harvesting all this lettuce. That's about a pound there. That's a lot of lettuce. So my neighbor also gave me a cutting from the rose bush since he was trimming it up this morning. And I am going to try to get these started. Got some rooting hormone and 4 pots filled with some potting soil. I've not had a whole lot of success with doing this sort of thing in the past, but maybe this time will be different. I do have 4 pots, so I'm hoping that increases my chances on getting a single rose bush out of this. So here I'm digging up those stunted peppers that I've been complaining about since I put them in the ground. Also pulling up yet more grass because I can't seem to keep this grass. Anyone know what kind of grass this is that is so aggressive and is coming up through landscaping fabric and layers of cardboard and everything else? Anyway, this first pair is going to be the Chinese string eggplant. I'd started the seeds for those and they look beautiful. One of them particularly. Try again. So next I am going to put in the bell peppers where I'd had the honey golden pippin peppers that had been stunted. So when I did the peppers, I ended up with 2 stunted and then 2 regular because I did 2 in the cells and then 2 in the composted pots. I have mentioned I'm not using these compostable pots ever again. I'm a little irritable that I didn't put these next to the other bell peppers, but I don't think there was space next to those. So it's like eggplant, paprika, pippin, bell, paprika, bell. After this, I had a commitment to go play D&D with some friends, so I put a pause on the planting. When I got back, I put in one of those English lavender next to the paradise rose. The other lavender had done so well there last year. It was just the freeze that had done it in. I think this winter I'll need to cover it better. But yeah, I'm very excited to have a nice English lavender plant again and still need to figure out what to do with the second one. Well, most of my kidney beans and pinto beans have sprouted. I'm not seeing any of those tricolor beans in my blue lakes yet. I am seeing a lot of grass that needs to be pulled up. But some of those French green beans that were supposed to be growing in a pot, they're starting to sprout. I'm pretty excited about that. My peas are doing wonderful. I harvested my first one this morning. It's April the 13th. I've got a few more that should be coming in tomorrow. Let's see if I can see it from this angle. Yeah, there we go. See, peas. These are the sugar snaps, and these are the little wonders. Yeah, things are starting to come in. I'm pretty excited. My onion leaves have been pretty beat up. I still need to figure out what to replace those last two peppers with, but I think I figured out a place to plant one of my Tabascos. So let's see much we can get done today and finish up my weekend of planting. So my label says English Daisy, but I really think these might be Cosmos. I don't remember exactly how I managed that particular error. So I decided to put my Tabasco peppers along the fence line. So I've got this one. It's going to go next to the spicy oregano between the Swiss chard and the parsley that is pretty stunted. I'm not sure if it's going to make it. So my other two Tabasco are going to go here along the back fence, about where I put some hibiscus seeds. I just planted those recently, so I don't know if they're going to come up. It is also an extremely windy day. If you don't see that mulch flying everywhere, my hair is doing the same thing. But yeah, I don't have any real plans for this end of this garden bed. About where I'm planting these is where the grapes are going to stop. Maybe next year I'll get a fourth grape plant to go right about where I'm putting that pepper. And I am watering everything in. I just don't always show it because I have rain barrels, and so I have to walk all the way to the rain barrel, fill the water can, and then come back. I'm not always having enough forethought to fill that water can before I start planting. And of course, my paradise rose is gorgeous despite the yellowy leaves. Hopefully the baking soda treatment will actually work. Otherwise, I'm going to be researching something else. And of course, my sage is in bloom and it is gorgeous. I need to figure out something to do with all those blossoms. They are edible. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you're enjoying seeing how my garden produces this year. And thank you for watching.